Hi, glad you're back. In my last video, I told you that I would get into the history of how we got where we are today. Why is our medical system the way it is? And in doing so, I went online, did my own research, and found a wonderful article entitled How Rockefeller Created the Business of Western Medicine. Rather than have you Google it and read the whole thing, let me show you the best parts. Let's do it together. Yes, John D. Rockefeller, widely considered the wealthiest American of all time and the richest person in modern history, and most famous probably for the monopoly that he had on the America's oil industry or the oil market. By the turn of the 20th century, Rockefeller controlled 90% of all petroleum refineries in America through the ownership of Standard Oil Company, which later split off into Mobil, Chevron, and Exxon. Concurrently, the science world was all excited about the new discovery of petrochemicals, the ability to create a variety of new compounds from that oil. Some of the first products were plastics, but the organic chemist knew that you could make a whole lot more than just plastic toys. They started researching and recreating synthetic versions of vitamins. And so Rockefeller, being as smart as he was, saw that as a big opportunity. Since it was now possible to make vitamins, it would be possible to make medications developed from that petroleum. He saw the chance to control multiple industries, the petroleum industry, the chemical industry, and lo and behold, the medical industry. Of course, petrochemicals were ideal from a business standpoint too, because they could be patented, owned, and sold for high profit. But there was a big problem for Rockefeller's plan, because in America around that time, herbal medicines and natural medicines were very popular. And almost half the medical colleges and doctors in America were practicing holistic medicine, using extensive knowledge from Europe and our Native American traditions. Rockefeller knew that to get control of the medical industry, he would have to rid the U.S. of the competition. His first move was to buy part of a German pharmaceutical company called IG Farben. From now that he controlled the part of a drug company, then he could really put his plan into action and eliminate his competition. Because back then, we were using a variety of methods to help heal. Remember, not treat, heal. Such as chiropractic, naturopathy, homeopathy, holistic medicine, and herbal medicine. And here's where it gets interesting. To eliminate the competition, Rockefeller hired a contractor named Abraham Flexner to submit a report to Congress in 1910. Long story short, his report concluded that there were too many doctors and medical schools in America, and that the natural healing methods that had existed for hundreds of years were unscientific quackery. He suggested that they standardize medicine, whereby only the AMA, another monopoly, would be allowed to grant medical school licenses in the U.S. So based on his report, Congress acted, because, they read everything they're given. They acted upon his recommendations and changed laws that related to medical practice. Incredibly, allopathic medicine became the standard treatments, even though at the time its main methods were bloodletting. How did that work out for George Washington? And surgery, quite barbaric at the time, and the injection of, get this, toxic metals such as lead and mercury, because they supposedly displaced disease. With the new laws in place, Rockefeller teamed up with his old buddy Andrew Carnegie and started funding the medical schools all over America. And guess what? On the strict condition that they only taught allopathic medicine. Through the power of that money, they systematically dismantled the previous curricula of these medical schools, removing any mention of the healing power of herbs or natural medicines. Sadly, all the students were taught the same, and medicine was now defined as a process of prescribing patented drugs. A pill for an ill became the mindset of the American medicine. In short, the diligent work of Rockefeller and Carnegie was a smashing success. They crushed the underfunded grassroots competition and created our current medical system. This system continues today with Big Pharma, makes big donations to medical schools in exchange for teaching the medical students to use their patented drugs. And why do you suppose that is? Well, you could follow the money, because an average cost of a cancer treatment today is $150,000. So naturally, Rockefeller and his buddies were keen to keep the monopoly on that one. And of course, the American Cancer Society, the research, the cures they've been coming up with. Guess who funded the American Cancer Society in 1913? Yeah, none other than our old buddy, John D. Rockefeller. So I hope I haven't raised your cortisol level too high, and I hope you've realized by now and through everything we've learned that we are lab rats. We've been experimented on. We've been lied to. But there's a way out, and it's called carnivore, the proper human diet. And I leave you with the words of one of our favorite carnivore doctors, Dr. Anthony Chaffee. It's a warning. Eat modern foods and take modern drugs. Well, he said medicine, but he's always so nice to everybody about everything. Anyway, I hope you learned something. I hope you can share it with your friends. And I'll see you in the next video.